VRChat, the next frontier. These are the experiences from Gunters' universe. His continuing mission? To seek out and connect with VR devs and passionate enthusiasts. To discuss theories, beliefs, and rhetoric of all kind. And to boldly go where no show has ever gone before.
Back to Gunters' universe. We weren't here last week because it was 4th of July, but we are back. And how are you guys doing?
Great.
Meg's looking amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. As always, Bob, my co-host here, aka Cause and Effects. What's going on with you, Bob?
I'm doing well. How was your 4th of July, Gunter?
4th of July was good. Didn't do a lot. The dogs here get very nervous and they get right next to me and they shiver and howl at the fireworks, so we babysat them mostly. We didn't do a lot of fireworks. How was your 4th?
Pretty good. Hung out with family and had a good time.
Sweet. Our guest tonight is McSmithe. He's also goes by Nir Blu. He's a musician from Vancouver, British Columbia, up there in Canada. His music could be described as alternative experimental rock. His music kind of mixes heavy rock with jazz and blues and classical music. It's really interesting. His albums Sleepyhead and Egress are indie gems played around the world. I Don't Care and Girlfriend have been in the top 10 on numerous Canadian charts. His instrumental compositions have been used in films, TV shows, art, video games, and more. Nir also experiments with VR technology to create digital music instruments, procedural musical games, experiences. You're using a perception neuron. You're on it. McSmithe, Nir Blu, what is up, my friend?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me, Gunter. This is a dream come true, actually. I'm like, whoa, interactive VR. It's like we're in the future. I'm totally
we were talking the other day, right?
Yeah.
It's real time. Like all this is, we are controlling avatars.
Who don't exist in my space, but actually do exist.
They're all around the world. Kenny, right there.
Yeah.
He was from San Fran. Bob's up in Boston. I'm in South Florida. There are Europeans around us. Zypon here. I keep forgetting if it's Netherlands or Netherlands or no. I always forget the exact country. And you can't talk tonight, so you can't correct me. So I'm just going to feel awkward about it because he's a good friend and I should know this stuff. But we'll talk, and I'll get that.
Somewhere there.
That later.
Somewhere in
I'm
Europe.
terrible with European countries. It's what it is. I found this out the other day when I was trying to figure out somebody's country before, so I feel bad. I'm just bad with geography. So, okay, let's talk about you a little bit, McSmithe. I want to know your background, so let's kind of start there. Like, how did you become a musician and all of that?
I don't know. I guess I was born in Israel. I was born and raised there. I had to go to the army. I broke out after a year and 9 months. I served as a combat medic. And then I met my wife in Greece and moved to Canada after. She's Canadian. And I've been in Canada basically for 15 years. And I've always been into music. Like, music is like, since I'm like 3 years old, I was trickling on the piano and. And actually, I've always been into 3D design as well. Since the BBS days. Before
the BBS days.
Whoa, old school.
Most people here probably don't know what that means. That's a bulletin board
12
systems.
hours to download some BBS. I don't remember what even, but
right on.
Pictures.
So making
What
music.
was the name of your BBS, by the way? Did it have a name? Remember?
I don't remember. Sorry, it was.
Mine was called the Arctic Underground, which is weird in South Florida, but that's what it was called.
I used to
Mine was Gamers Guild.
graphic design for like access into all these BBSs. So I would like make their logos or whatever, and then get like unlimited membership, whatever.
Yes.
That's how I got introduced to 3D Studio, 3D Max. No, it wasn't Max back then. It was 3DS, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for me, virtual reality and music is like the amalgamation of like my lifelong journey. I'm like, making music in VR, if only it would work. So I'm really curious to see. This is for me like kind of like an experiment. I'm like, I hope my animations comes through, don't lag, but it's actually viable to make this kind of like, experience that is super cool, not just solo, but like with a whole bunch of people around. So Yeah, that's basically
First
about
time
me.
ever. Virtual reality connecting us. Internet technology is crazy. Lots come from the BBS days to now. I never thought. Well, I kind of thought VR was going to happen, but it's quite more. Like everybody's here with you, and it's just different. It's different than what Johnny Mnemonic was portraying, right?
Yeah, and it's like, do you remember the game Wolfenstein? Do you remember
of course. That? Castle Wolfenstein.
Does anybody
actually played it in
like
school a bunch.
That's for me, like, also part of it, right? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of brought us here.
The 3D
I
engine.
see it as like a stepping stone. Yeah, 3D engine, like using 2D to show 3D space. I remember being mesmerized by it as a kid. I was like, whoa, how did they do that? You know? So like, this is like 100 levels further. It's like, yeah, we're finally here in VR. I'm like super stoked about it. That's like
2D has disappeared. We
be in the game.
It's gone. We are here. The final platform. It feels like final canvas. How you can't get much bigger canvas to paint on than this. You can paint a talk show. So a little more about music. I want to get did you go to school at all for music? Are you full-time musician? Do you do gigs?
I'm a full-time musician. I studied music. Well, I studied piano with a private teacher, and I also studied later on guitar with a private teacher. I finished whatever it's called, that 12-year classical training thing, and then I moved on to jazz, whatever. And I've been basically, when I met my wife in Greece, I was touring around there, playing shows in touristy areas, you know, kind of get the whole world. Like, I'm very fascinated with getting the whole world come to tour, and you're just staying in one spot playing, and like, now it's the Irishes, and now it's the Australians, and I don't have to go to Australia or Ireland, you know, I can just chill in one place. So EOS, it was a great place for that, and I played a bunch of shows there. I played in Montreal. We lived in Montreal for 5 years, and that's where I recorded my 2 albums, and played a whole bunch of shows around there. But then Egress, I recorded it 7 years ago, and I sold maybe 15 copies in iTunes, but it got 6 million downloads. So it's kind of discouraged me for a while. I was like,
oh yeah,
I don't know if I want to put so much effort and then get no money, and people get to comment on your music without even paying money on it. You know, it's like I'm exposing my heart out there, and they're like, yeah, it's cool, 7 out of 10. I'm like, what, 7 out of 10? Seriously, I put my heart and soul into it. You know, you didn't even pay.
Yeah.
I mean,
just a number.
So I'm yeah, I mean, not that I'm discouraged about, I got good reviews and stuff, but I'm just the whole how to make money from it. So that's how I got turned into VR as well. I was like, hey, you know what? If there's a way to, you already spent $5,000 on your system to be able to be here in VR and interact with people in VR. I mean, what is another $5 or $10 to go see an event with an artist? And it's also something I would like to see other artists doing. As a developer of content of VR, I cannot compete with Google and I don't know, the big guys. I don't have 50,000 people on my staff with brilliant ideas and all the resources in the world. But what I do have is a personal artist kind of point of view, which you cannot get when you have 50,000 people working on a project. It's that's what I hope to give with my experiences, whether it's a live show that is solo me, or whether it's a more elaborate thing that I'm working on. It's you'll show here, I'm sure, a couple of those experiences I've been working on. They're the whole idea of keeping the audience captive in this headset. You're stuck in the headset. Your ears are, prisoners. Your eyes are prisoners, and I basically can control everything, and I could really get some emotions running, I could really create a whole experience that I'm really fascinated by it, because virtual reality experiences, you don't design them for an audience, you design them for directors. When you watch a 2D video, it's for an audience. You just watched, they decided for you all the angles and everything's going to happen, In a VR, you're the director. If you're interested in seeing, I don't know,
you have the agency.
Here,
you're
nobody
the camera.
Can,
Yeah.
You're the camera, you decide the experience, and writing experiences for that, it's a double effect. It's almost procedural, which is also, I use a lot of procedural technology. Definitely think it's a big part of virtual reality design, And that's basically it. I don't know.
Very cool. So
you said that you did
play good.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. That you played. You said you played 2 instruments. Do you play any others, or do you have other musicians come in and help you when you record your records?
Yeah, I have other musicians come in and help me when I record my records for sure. I play piano and guitar, and I get to compose. But let's say like drums, I can drum, but I'm not good at it, and there's no way for me to make any album without a good drummer and a good bass player. That's basically I usually have a drummer and a bass player that's helping me out. And I can play bass, but it's not the same as when you're a bass player and you have like this touch, like
slapping the bass. Yeah.
It's the same thing with drums. You can do electronic stuff. You can, always do it with the click, but I'm really into, even if there is electronic stuff in it, like to have the live, to have the live vibe with the drummer, basically live off the floor. And I'm recording an album soon on the first week of August. I'm going to be at the Warehouse Studio recording a new album, which is finally, after 7 years of not doing it, I'm going to make it and design some kind of a virtual reality experience to go along with it and try to sell it on Steam, I guess, I've been trying to develop a bunch of games to sell on Steam, so I'm very aspiring towards being able to release something finally. And definitely the online component is a big deal. Like, how do you bring the people with enough interaction to keep them captive, but not, I don't know, lost, like bored or whatever.
And people, the medium, like you said, you're kind of discouraged from 6 million people downloading it and 15 people paid for it. So what do you do about that? I mean, the technology's here. People are doing it. You can't really make technology stop. DRM, sure, but, because it's just a big problem. So are you thinking
the best way,
do something new?
Is like to really go touring. It's like that's the best. Like, cause I did get exposure of 6 million people of different countries. I can see their countries they downloaded from. It would be really amazing to actually go out there and get some shows. But unless I know that I'm getting paid X amount of money, I'm not going to sleep in hotels, eat outside food, and be not in my home. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much risk involved. I could be going there 2 months, working my ass off, and afterwards come back and like, yeah, we broke even. And like, yeah, but we got exposure, but I don't care about exposure. I really more interested in creating more content, more music, to be in the creating part, and delivering it is a part of the creation, but to make it comfortable for me, So if I could know for a fact I'm getting 100 people this place, then it's worth traveling there. But until I'm there, for a while there, I tried to, I designed my own website, and I decided to like make it only available for people who sign in, like give me your email,
Yeah.
And I got a whole bunch of emails that way. And I start communicating people around the world and asking questions like, how do you hear about my music? Find out, what's happening. But I found it's less and less traffic. And, in some way it gave me a lot of contacts with fans. But in another way, I felt like there's a lot of people who maybe want to go and won't go and sign in. But that was very effective for me as a lone artist, basically. Like, I don't have a corporation behind me. I'm just me. So was a great way of seeing who is actually, get the statistics of actually people who are willing to give information to get there. And that's, you're not even talking about money here, information, right? But it's still a big deal to get people to give that, But,
so when you release an album, do you like tour locally at all or anything, or go far away, or?
Yeah, I'm hoping to book a bunch of shows in Europe as well. But for now, I'm playing around Vancouver. And only a few places. I've become kind of like very specific about the places I like to play shows in. I had many years that I played in front of a brick wall in some dingy pub, and I was like, I can't do that anymore. Like, I need more like a Usher kind of situation, or at least like a piano. Okay, I mean, depends, every case to itself. But yeah, basically, there's less and less places I find comfortable for me to perform, but there's a lot of theaters that I play in around the area here.
So. You need a piano. You don't bring your own piano.
No.
Right?
And just guitar. I can do a show just guitar. I've done it. Like, It's like, I used to do covers when I just came to Canada. I used to play in all the pubs and do covers all over Montreal, Ottawa, and Vancouver as well. And at one point you have to decide, like, okay, I can't play covers anymore. It's not really furthering my agenda as an artist. I really want to create money with my own art. And I have to say, for composers out there, the best revenue is royalties. Getting your stuff hooked up to something that plays a whole bunch of times and receiving it, that's like hard to get in there. And that should be like, I guess, the ambition, from a composition point of view, like it's nice to be able to have many pieces of music and then try to offer them to different productions that are happening and maybe get some of them and then you get money for it. So that's a great way of making a musician, I would say, more than live shows, maybe. But Europe is different.
Because
Europe,
you did work
make
in
a lot of money, but
do stuff for TV, film, video games. Talk about that. I mean, that's kind of if you get royalties from media that would be distributed, right?
Sorry, what?
So you could get royalties from that kind of situation, right? Your work's being in, say, a popular TV show or something.
Yeah, well, I didn't get my work in a popular TV show yet, but luckily enough, I'm married to a content producer of video, so I get to have my music and a lot of stuff that my wife is doing, and get some other projects as well that are either with friends or communities we're working with, and being independent is facing the boogeyman all the time. You don't know when the contract's going to come, what's going to happen, but you have to push through it and just be like, no, you know what, like, I can't do anything else. That's what I need to do. Like, this, like, it's not really a choice, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we know a lot of indie, of course, developers, and we've seen them for the last years decide to jump into VR, and what a risky thing that is. The returns basically haven't really been there so much, and they risk a lot. And the indie, right? The indie artist, they're artists as well. So we feel for that, right?
But it's not for nothing. I don't think it's for nothing. Even if you didn't make this quarter your money, it's like always this technology is based. So you say, you spend a month learning how to rig a character properly. Well, now you're going to rig characters properly forever. You spend another month, perfecting this algorithm that allows you to have, inventory system, whatever. You can use this inventory system on your next game, It's not like it's in vain. You keep developing. And I think the goal is to become so fluent with whatever you're making your VR game with that you can just instantiate these ideas right away. And, kind of like to become like a brilliant VR director. Like, oh, check this out. I'm going to do this and you're going to feel that, and it's like, I think that's the goal.
And showing some pictures of you. I don't know if you've seen, you're everywhere.
Cool shirt, man.
Oh, man.
I searched the InterTubes, right? Your friend Rupert?
Yeah, he made this shirt.
Oh, nice.
I bought it all the way from Montreal, delivered. Yeah, I
sold
that
some sailing?
boat. Yeah, I sold it just a week ago. I'm like...
Just a week ago?
Sailing, nice.
Wow. Yeah, I started doing a little bit of sailing down here.
It's amazing. That's the best feeling in the world. Once the motor is off and you're just, going really fast, it's kind of fun. But I found that... first of all, we moved from the Sunshine Coast to Vancouver. Like, it's pretty close. It's 40 minutes, but like our boat was there, so it was more comfortable to sell it. And also I wanted to get a bigger boat. And more than that, I would say the water is pretty cold. So going sailing in winter is more scary than I was anticipating. I was like, it's like acid. You're like, oh my God, if I fall, I have like 10 minutes before I'm done. So that scared me a little bit.
That's pretty scary. It's pretty cool images of you. I like the artistic style. I pulled this, I think, from your website.
This my wife took, but it's inspired by this technique from this guy called Jonathan Dye. He's a nice photographer in Vancouver here, and he uses this nice technique of reflection to take a picture. So it's like
I see.
Inspired by him, even though my wife did. Thanks.
Speaking of inspiration, like what about some musicians that you're inspired by, or let's talk about the album coming out and what inspired you to make that album.
So both of my first albums are more melancholic, I would say. They're like happy tracks, even though they're awesome and they're amazing and everybody here should go online and buy it. I would say that I was then inspired more by I was more inspired by more like melancholic, like a Radiohead kind of vibe. I would say Perfect Circle, stuff like that. But I grew up on Queen. Like Queen, when I was a kid, that was like the best band for me, right? And I was like, still today, fascinated about how they're able to make this positive music that you still feel, like that not all their emotions they're dealing with are like the same monotonous, I don't know, sadness of sorts, like. And I also listened to some Stevie Wonder, and I was like, he got it too, like this like positive outlook, like where you just like you mention life by outlining the positive rather than outlining the negative. Oops. And so basically, right now, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to create as much more positive music, something that like when you finish listening to it, you're like, oh yeah, I feel great. Because like. For example, Pink Floyd, it's a great band. Like, I listened to tons of Pink Floyd. I definitely grew up on them. But I noticed, like, maybe it's my later years that when I finish listening to an album, I kind of feel like shitty. I mean, I feel like down. I'm like, oh,
Dude,
man.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like, that was awesome.
I love Perfect Circle, like you said. I love Tool. But you're right. Like, I stopped listening so much to it all. And I find myself listening to other things that I don't think my younger self would be like, oh, what are you listening to that? Happy pop or anything, whatever's, I do. I want to be in a better mood because I've been through enough pain in life to know that I don't need more of that so much, or I need the opposite.
So I love the idea of making good, happy music, and it needs more skill. It takes more effort of inspiration. It's harder to write lyrics, I guess. I don't know. For me personally, because I don't want to use certain, I don't know, I don't want it to make you feel in a certain way after you finish listening, like look at life in a bleak kind of way. I rather like, I don't know, makes you want to take a flight and fly somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that'd be a great song to listen to. One that makes me like, everybody hates flying. But, if you have to have a song while you go out to the airport and have to do all this hassle of, going through security and stuff, that would be great, So I'm trying, that's like my inspiration for the next album is a mix of a bunch of new songs like that and a bunch of old songs that like are getting almost saturated, almost like vinegar. They need to come out already. I mean, they're waiting to be recorded for too many years, and I owe them this much, right? Like, I owe the songs that much, right? I need to put it out. So but it's going to sound great. I mean, they all belong together, and I'm super stoked about it. I'm also going to take
you owe the songs that VR. Like, that's just kind of catching me. So you owe this. Why do you feel that way? Why do you're kind of giving the songs like, anthropomorphizing? I don't know. Like why would they need it? What do you mean?
Well, because at the time when I wrote them, I thought they're so brilliant, and just because I'm used to it already doesn't mean that I need to withhold it from the audience. Like like songs are like that, right? Like you sometimes have the song like, I don't know. I'll give an example that probably everybody knows about it, like The Final Countdown. Okay. When that stuff came out in the 80s, everybody were like all like, like they were totally into it, right? And like now you think about, it's the most cheesy, sample ever. It's like, I don't feel it as much.
Cheesy. He was using a commercial with someone microwaving their lunch.
Oh, well, that's it.
Right.
They ruined it with a commercial, right? But even before that, they kind of drilled it in the radio and whatever. They were really excited about it. And by now, you're not excited about it, even a few years after, right? So it's like, as an artist who makes these songs, maybe I had this time when I was excited about this song, and now I owe it to the song because I got my kicks out of it. So it's only fair that even though it's past me, or not exactly past me, but like, I would say I'm revising my passion because I can't record something I don't feel, But I'm doing these different musical arrangements that make me all excited about it again, to give that kick more. So I guess in a way, like, I feel like I'm owing that song because it gave me the kick. I got to give the audience the kick, or whoever's going to listen to it in the future, And that's another thing,
Interesting.
Both the mocapping and recording music, I guess, today in an economy that barely makes any money as an independent person, it's a lot of it is about working towards the future. Like, I feel like creating content towards the future is important. Like, I don't know, like people in the future will have more accessibility. It will be more accessible to people in the future, like looking at 3D animations of people playing, for example, and everybody will have it. And then like everybody will be able to go and check out what I did 10 years ago or wherever, how long has passed, like So there's a lot of that. Like even when you develop for VR, you like come up with new director ways to bring different emotions, and it's kind of like building for the future, because the mega, I don't know, magnum opus is going to come, and you're going to make the best thing you've ever done, and you're going to use all these little things that you learn along the way, you know? I guess.
Interesting. And I want you to be right in the shot of K-Dog's camera, so I think right over there, like, boom, right across from Kaz.
There you
perfect. Go. A little more. Is that where you want him, or? No, more towards me.
All right. Yeah. I got a whole room here.
Let's see here. Perfect, yeah. Yeah, our cameras are situated in certain directions, which is we're directing live in VR. We get to have a camera system. Kenny sits here and presses buttons, and the camera goes around to different shots and different pans and stuff. Looks at the screen. It's pretty wild. It's you know, old friend of mine, Dark Akuma, created it. And it's awesome. So what's the new album called?
I think it's going to be called "Don't Let the Monsters Eat Your Soul," but I'm not sure yet. Okay, this is the working title I would call it. You know, because I got the song. And I'm going to play it even for you later, whenever you guys are ready for it. Called Don't Let the Monsters Eat Your Soul. And obviously it's talking in a metaphorical way, but I think like this place is kind of like perfect to play that, because I'm like, kind of avatars are a lot of the times little monsters, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Don't let them eat your soul.
I've seen some little monsters around here. And yeah, we're hardened. We know how to deal with monsters, are just part of life here. You know, somebody turns into a giant avatar, and there's no threat to that. It's just, you know, usually a soft person behind the avatar. So how many? You have a few tracks that you created, and I want you to talk about how you created those. Maybe we could play one, and then do a little more talking about this, that, or the other, and then play some more after.
Sure. You guys want to hear it?
You guys want to hear some tunes?
Sure.
Oh,
nice. That's a monster, right? That's a cactus
monster. Exactly. See.
So where should I do it? Like right here?
Tell us about Perception Neuron and what we're going to see and what's going on. How is this made?
I basically had to put this suit that I got especially for that, capturing movement of playing music. I love animation, and I don't see enough animation that is actually capturing people while they're playing. Like, I think that whole idea of, you know, you could trace a video of somebody playing, you'll never do it as good as technology can do it. Now, it is still limited. Like, the perception neuron is only 60 frames per second, which I guess sometimes you could be faster than that, and especially with the piano, you know, so I have to kind of slow down everything a little bit just to make sure it doesn't move too fast. And if I do move too fast, the acceleration kind of makes the fingers bend. You'll see it. Another thing is that I don't actually track the instrument I'm playing. So I added like a guitar or a piano, but I don't really hit them yet. And I haven't worked on the animation as much to make it really, I would like to get it there. Like I would like to get the keys go in and out, like to up and down, you know, like that would be super cool, right?
And you're new to VR. I mean, you've only been checking this place out for a couple of weeks, and this is what you were able to whip up using this platform.
Yeah, I've been working with Blender for a while now, and you know, obviously I was working with 3D Studio back in the day when I had the money to buy the actual software, but now they it's like you have to rent it, and I was like, I can't commit to like renting something for $300 every month. So I looked for alternatives, and then I found Blender, and I was like, oh my god, it's like ZBrush with 3D Studio backs in one with all the best everything, and yeah, they're amazing.
Blender fans around here for sure.
Yeah, that's like, and also Substance, you know, Substance Designer and Substance Painter. Those softwares are amazing. I think like I remember that guy, he released something maybe 10 years ago in GitHub or something. It was like the little mechanism of kind of like creating patterns. I used it for a while, but it was kind of like awkward. And then they made it into like an actual software. It's just amazing. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the best. I definitely subscribe to them. And that helps me a lot with making Unreal experiences. I worked with Unity for a while. Unity is amazing for network and stuff like that, but I found that how it's working with the lights, I wasn't happy with the visual aesthetic. Like I saw Unreal and I was like, oh my God. like the light shines through the glass and makes this pattern. I'm like, are you serious? So anyway, I worked with both. So for me to upload my avatar, I don't know, work with the SDK that was provided by VRChat was really easy, actually. It was the best SDK probably I ever worked with. It was the most easy one, The other ones are usually, I don't know. I guess they're all good, but it was very easy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Cool. Well, let's hear one of the tracks.
All right.
What's the name of this track?
This is this one. Don't let the monster eat your soul. Let the monsters eat your soul.
Make sure you have your system volume, all of it turned up. Or turned down if you need to. I don't know how loud it's going to be. Turn into monster avatars. See monsters. Here's one.
Don't let the monster eat your soul.
Don't eat me. Awesome. Right on.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
We had a few monsters.
I think everyone has monsters controllers. So
Mr. Pinky behind you.
Nice.
And I asked people to mute before
that's
the show,
awesome.
not everybody. Yeah, he's three heads. This same head. His hands are his head. There's art everywhere.
So when you record your albums, do you like predetermine what like the drums, what you're looking for, or same with the bass, or you just kind of go into the studio and kind of have the bassist and drummer play whatever they think would fit?
That's a good question. It's really about time. Like the more time I have with the drummer or the bass player, the more refined it would be. But I generally work with people And generally, I think like to be a good musician is like you have to whip out something on the fly. You have to be able to be maybe having that jam coming out of you, you know, just by you being there. So definitely work with people that are going to pull off like amazing results, even if I don't prepare with them super well. But I would like to prepare as well as I can, obviously. But it's, again, a limit of how much time I have with them. Like, making a music production is expensive. You have to pay everybody. You can't anymore be like, hey, man, play in my band. You know, it doesn't work like that. You have to give people money, you know, and then they're getting paid for a certain session. So, like, you don't really always have time beforehand to meet with them. And, you know, you give them the tracks. They send you maybe stuff back. And then, you know, you see how you go from there. So basically that's how been my experience so far. But like with bands that I played live, I found that it was also a challenge because when you actually playing with the band for a really long time and you're together, it's hard to give better directions. When you get there to the studio, everybody has their own opinion. And that's why in general, I like to hire people and not to have like, hey, be in my project forever, because I want to be able to, I guess, boss people around, you know, be like, dude, no, play that note, okay? Like, it's not a democracy here. It's like, I rule, and, you know, but I want you to be able to, if I don't tell you that note, like, you're going to be playing the right note anyway. So it's like, it's a balance between those two, right? Like, being able to give directions, it's hard, you know, music has a lot of ego in it, and I guess, you know, art is like that, you know, there's the ego, you got to go a little fig jam, be like, you know, fuck, I'm good, you know.
You're trying to say like, something, you know. Trying to deliver something that's specific,
Somebody has to have the vision, right? Like, it has to follow somebody's vision. So, yeah, I definitely, but you need to work with good musicians. Like, spending time in a recording studio clipping nails, that's unacceptable. Spending time in a recording studio, figuring out your part, because you're like, no, you have to maybe make it better. But it's not like you're learning the song for the first time when you get there. Like, that's right. Unacceptable. So as a musician, you got to know how to prepare, and you know, that's the kind of people I like to work with. You know, it's like they have to have creativity in them, right? Be able to like pull off my fuck ups, basically. Like, you know, compensate for the things I'm not good at. You know, and just, you know, so
interesting, cool. So I got some more media here, and what order to play them in, it's a little tricky. I do have that mocap suit video. Hopefully it'll play here, so people can get an idea. There's no audio, but there's
I only knew that this was being shot after I saw it being shot. Like, I don't know if you know this, but the camera is kind of, you know, so that's why I'm wearing whatever. But I want to make a point about it, like, how awesome is if you can make a tour around the world wearing your pajamas, basically, you know, like.
Oh, I'm in my underwear right now. Absolutely, that's what I
you know what I mean? I actually got dressed, you know, I was like, you know, I'm going to talk to people. I want to feel comfortable.
Well, that's like, interesting,
you know,
right?
I want to feel like, because the sense of presence here is
Did you
still
do your hair up?
Off guard. No, actually.
Put deodorant on? So. I didn't put any deodorant on. I'm glad you can't smell me right now.
I smell kind of bad, yeah.
Gunters Universe, where we don't wear pants.
Well, just get close to the table and no one see.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so.
Tour anywhere. We've had a musician, McSmithe, come through here, and he did a metaverse, a virtual tour, and played in a few different social VR apps and did some stuff here. So yeah, we're starting to see that happen. We're starting to see a bunch of artists now come into social VR and realize that there's audience obviously here, and everybody loves music, everybody loves arts, especially the crowd that create their own art in using tools like Unity.
You get to see a production. Like, think about it, like back in the day when you bought a record and it was like this big, right? And you were like, I remember when I was like 3 or whatever, there was this album of War of the Worlds. I don't know if you know that one, but like there was like some music production happened to it somewhere in the 80s to that like 30s new radio cast. Anyway,
right.
I remember looking at the art.
The 80s thing.
Yeah, and like I remember that 80s production, you know, and I opened those 2 CDs and looking at the art, it was like a big aliens kind of like, you know, being depicted there, and I was like, wow, this is so cool, you know. And then like CDs came out, and I remember even like, you know, Cynic or Perfect Circle, whatever came out, and it was so small. You're like, and what is this, you know? So like now with VR, you get to be like, forget about it. Just put on your helmet and you get to be in what I'm trying to say, kind of like, which is still like, I need to perfect it. I think like in general, VR needs to perfect the delivery, right? Like it's like, we're still experimenting here. Like that's what I love about it. It's like uncharted territories. We're pirates going into space. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
I mean, basically, the screens I throw up are still very similar to big screens in real life. Someday transcending this, right, and be getting something even more unique than just putting up big screens of media. Like, this is going to be something. I don't know how is everything going to be maybe be 360 videos, so the whole world will change into, you know, the video that we're seeing from the guest or the artist, or there's going to be those new methods. So right now, it's pretty infant. We're still mimicking, I think, real life, but there's going to be amazing art to experience.
Personally, I would love to see, maybe I'll make it one day, like a coordinated dance, but like with thousands of people. Not happening in real time. It doesn't matter if they're all mocapped and it's recorded, but the ability that you walk in one of those like Korean things, you know, like, or one of those, like, you have billions of people like doing the same kind of like, you know, at the same time. And you're like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Like that would be kind of, you know, like you can work with millions of people as dancers, like choreograph dances for thousands of millions of people. I don't know. Just
every time you go back to play that, not record, but, you know, this performance, you could be at it at any kind of different perspective. So if you design it, direct it really interesting, then it has probably a lot of replay value then. It's more than just what it could be in our real world, which is, you know, audio coming out of speakers or, you know, something displaying on a screen.
Yeah, the immersion is amazing. I think it's like when we met the other day, like the first time we met, after we hung out for like an hour, I really felt like I know you. Like I hung out with you. If I meet you in the street, I won't feel like you're a stranger. I mean, if this is enough to be like, you know, more than the phone, you know, more than Skype even. I don't know. So
I agree. I don't really like Skype with the people I know so much. I mean, it's a great tool. I would much rather them be here, and certainly if they could look like their real life self, that's great. But then also being able to see them do more, you know, because you can't do that so easily. Here you can. And the tools, I don't know what we're going to have. Obviously, crazy tools in the future to communicate, to share the ideas right out of my head as I maybe say stuff. It just objects fall out of the air and just hand you ideas of mine somehow.
Like Scribblenauts.
Scribblenauts is a game, that you can just write in words.
Type in whatever you want. Scribble it, it just pops up, and there it is.
That's incredible.
That would happen soon, I'm sure.
This is going to happen.
We need the VR version of that.
Wow,
3D models.
But I'm fascinated with the art of avatars. Like, you know, when you look around and you see, like, you know, the same way as people use clothing, like how people use avatars to kind of like express. It's kind of subtle, whatever is being expressed, but it's there, you know? It's like a reference to a character from a game that if you know it, then you guys going to have something in common. Or, I don't know. You see a lot of Rick and Morty's running around here. Like, it's awesome, you know? Like, that's really cool that you get, like, it's a communication on a different level. Like, you feel, hey, I can relate to that. I know that show. I know this thing. And just by seeing the person wearing that avatar, that communicates that. Like, hey, you know? Like,
even strange things like this avatar, where they defy space-time, it seems. It's a...
Well, how do you do that? That's like...
An avatar with a Z. It's like collapsed to like 1.
I dropped the y-axis down to 0.2.
There it is.
So it's 20 centimeters tall.
Crazy stuff that you wouldn't even think, right?
It falls apart, you know, that you could just like, how you do the backflip, you can just make it all fall apart. Like,
yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about your music. I was really interested in this Sleepyhead video that you did. It's quite a beautiful video. Like to put that on, but, you know, tell me a little bit about it before we click it on.
We shot it in Montreal. My wife directed it, and I told her like this, like, I want to have hot chicks in it, okay? Like, I want attractive girls, like, excuse me, but, you know, it's the truth. As a musician, if you make a video clip, unless you have, like, a super important thing to say, you need to, like, make sure that a 14-year-old can, you know, have fun with it late at night in his room, you know, like.
I know that side of things. Yes,
that's the MTV I grew up on. Now it's getting a little different. The sexuality is drifting. I don't know, whatever. I gotta communicate, you know. So she came up with the story about it, like being like this dream that they're waking up from or whatever. It's kind of like esoteric, I guess. But it was a great day of shoot, and it was actually 2 days it took. And there was a whole bunch of other really nice shots from the video clip, but the second cameraman, I guess he needed glasses or something, and he got a lot of the stuff out of focus, so we couldn't use. And it was like, damn,
bummer.
Like, that's actually the B-roll. But it was, you know, it was really fun. And our friend Nicolas that helped shoot it, that actually got it in focus. We worked with him after.
Nir Blu.
Oh yeah, we carried a piano to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, you carry that around everywhere?
Like shackles.
You watch through the editing?
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's time to go. The rest of the way. Time to go the rest of
They hired a hot dude as well. Hot girl.
It's everything you hoped for.
What kind of camera?
It's everything.
It's an HD one. It's not a 4K one. It's Panasonic.
It's time to go the rest of the way.
That's another one.
I don't know, I can relate to the characters and
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's time to
What kind of software is the website on? Mac, the Final Cut?
Actually, now it's
on the way.
A lot of people moved over.
It's time to go the rest of
What was nice about this idea is that there's what do you call that? Good weight thing. You carry the camera. It's smooth.
Yeah, you know, you have a gimbal, right? Yeah, I've got a gimbal. Is it a gimbal? Or something like dolly?
Dolly with like a rope off dolly. I don't know if you can carry this.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. There's also a flicker for the and those control.
It's time to go the rest of the way.
Well, that beat disappeared.
That one's more portable. That's where you can push it.
That looks great, guys. It's nice.
It's everything you hoped for.
you found out about Gunters through Cloudhead Games. How'd that work out?
I went to seminar.
Time to go the rest of the way.
I was hoping to meet some people with Jump VR, and I have to say that Cloudhead Games were showing a really nice, beautiful looking game there, and I started talking to those guys, and I told them what I'm into performing live VR and giving me a bunch of experiences around that, and he told me you gotta check out Gunters Universe, So I was like checking it out online. I was like, hey, and yeah, there we are.
Right on.
Fantastic.
I was super inspired. I think what you're doing here
Love those guys.
is incredible. I think
thanks,
having
man.
a talk show in VR is like amazing. It's like it's super cool, man. I can't say it enough. It's like Wayne's World times 100. You know what I mean? It's like
I want a
Oh, yeah.
Wayne's World set underneath. Like it's totally like I want two different kinds of sets, right? Something after hours, but there's only so much time, and I don't 3D model. But it
I'd
is
love
that. It's
to-
underground. It's this style of that, right? And I can broadcast wherever I want. I don't need to worry about, anybody saying
it's
I can or can't.
it's true. It's just incredible, and it's super cool. It's just gonna grow into something more amazing and more amazing as the years go by, like it has already. I mean, I've been working with this with the DK2. Having hands,
Oh, I know.
this is like a game changer. Like we have hands. I mean, like whoa.
There are old episodes, we
It's
don't
just
have
getting better.
hands. Can't even.
Yeah.
And I know we knew this was going to happen. Like, you're not even going to be able to remember what it was like to not have hands. It doesn't even make. I mean, I guess you can just not use controllers, but it's still. You just know you have them too. It doesn't matter. Like, they're there. They're in your world. And soon we're going to have our feet. The Vive trackers are coming. Boom. We're going to have feet. And that'll be weird to not have your feet tracked in the future. And your waist, all that. So you can turn without your whole body turning. You can actually turn your neck around. That'll be amazing. We're such
Better
infants,
IK. Yeah.
better IK. It's gonna just keep getting better. So this is everything.
Yeah, everything is okay. It's just some nuclear explosions. Don't worry, keep recycling. Yeah.
Everything exciting.
It's funny, right? Like they ask you to recycle, right? But meanwhile, this happens. It's like
Yeah.
I'm all for recycling. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like that shit shouldn't happen, right?
Everything's fantastic.
It's also
Everything's great.
been a
It's
fascination. Look how beautiful mushroom clouds are.
Just going through some of your other work. And this is all on YouTube, Vimeo, NirBlu.com. Sample.
Yeah, let's start putting
full
things on
songs you can.
Vimeo. I just want to say something about that because YouTube came to me and they said that I ripped somebody's music off with a video that I posted in 2012 when the guy said he composed the song in 2016. And apparently when you upload something to YouTube, it's their district and they can decide whatever. So even though I bought it a little bit, the video was nothing. It was like 70 views, so it didn't matter so much, but it was enough to show me like from now on Vimeo and like only links that are working to my website, stuff like that. Because there's a lot of bots going around. There's that aspect of ripping people's music off, not just by downloading them for free, but by claiming copyrights.
Yeah, I have that issue here. I'll play a video of a game or something or whatever it is. We're into some retro thing, we're living a memory, and YouTube will flag it. And luckily, I don't have to bring anything down. It'll just say, hey, just let you know, and whoever owns that song can put an ad on it. That's not like I want that. Or it can actually take out the song. And what was really interesting this one time is, if say this was a copyrighted song going on and they knew about it, it can actually just remove the song and our voice still goes and all the other sounds in here. It actually just can remove automatically.
Wow.
And that is super powerful. They didn't have to. It wasn't just a silence for a minute and a half. It's just what we were talking about. Nobody could hear. Yeah. So that's nice. That's something.
So yeah, this was shot with a GoPro outside our house. We had a little
Is it
beach.
just switching off?
That's all good.
Yeah.
But
there's
this is
all
a
kinds of
show we had at our house. The Sunshine Coast.
stuff. Oh, is it not playing? Don't do
Playing?
this to me again. If this does it to me again, then I get to complain a bunch. Oh, I did it again.
Oh no, don't split us again, man.
I know I can't do that, but then we don't get more media.
Is it because
That's
you
really
play
hard.
on Vimeo and then you get back to YouTube? Could that be it?
You know,
But
we
Vimeo-
Yeah, we haven't really.
I haven't been
we
using
haven't
Vimeo.
really
This is-
done with multiple sources. It's probably having a hard time.
or I don't use
with that,
Vimeo ever. I don't ever use Vimeo. But I have, and I knew it worked. So I bet you there's something going on there. This site, you know, of course, it's free and it's pretty janky, to be quite honest. MyCircle.tv, it just is. So well, that's poopy.
It's okay.
We can at least do something
what
here
happens,
to
you know?
entertain. New technology
Put
or
pictures of it anyway. If you can just show little pictures from it, it's enough. I mean, people can go check out the videos. I mean, if you can just
I had the slideshows. I was going to try to do that here. So you had some old posters that I thought looked cool from other venues that you've played at.
Oh yeah,
Saw that.
we designed a
It
whole
is really
bunch
cool.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, back 10 years ago, I built a website that was just available on people with Flash. Okay, like you can go there with cell phones,
God.
nothing. Okay, it was just like
Flash
I did it
sites.
with Pay-Per-Vision 3D. I don't know if anybody here knows of
I don't remember that.
Pay-Per-Vision 3D. It's like an ActionScript 3 library, basically, that you can. Well,
Oh,
when it was
ActionScript,
new.
yeah.
You could make 3D stuff and websites. So I wonder if there's still a link somewhere in my website to those old ones, but. Yeah, just those posters. It reminds me it was on the wall. It's all sketched out. I've been seeing them since I designed that site.
I like this one a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Coca
she couldn't
Nymph.
hang it in her place, you know. I was like, your place called Coca Nymph. And she was like, yeah, but we live in a very Christian neighborhood. I'm like, all right. Sure.
Okay. I put that there. Found that on your Instagram.
We got
That's
those.
a crazy mushroom.
It's called Amanita muscara. That's like the holy grail, basically. There's a whole thing about the sacred mushroom on the cross, stuff like that. Yeah. It's Jesus, the holy grail, and it's a really neat looking mushroom.
This is one of your games. About that if you don't.
Yeah, I recommend everybody check it out. This is like a cool experiment I made with creating procedural music. So basically, when you play this, everything you do makes a different kind of sound, and it's like creates the song. The song is called "Feel Good" or "Good Feeling." Actually, "Good Feeling" just says like "Good Feeling" is strong.
It's
like,
pretty cool. Yeah.
It gets faster and faster to a point where it's like impossible. So you'll finish playing it within like 3 to 4 minutes, depending how good you are. I mean, if you're really, really good, maybe you can last 5 minutes, but basically it goes really fast.
And everything does different sounds, like saying procedural. When you jump, the music, like the piano, I don't know, plays faster or higher.
On the piano. Yeah, well, those are like kind of samples that are triggered by those. Yeah, I did this actually in Unity. Yeah, this one is a Unity game. It's so fun working with Unity, I have to say. Like, working with this SDK and bringing the stuff in, I remembered like, hey, how nice it is when you can just put a C# kind of like script on whatever. Just like, it's cool.
You find it difficult to going from one engine to the other, or are you okay with them?
Well, I find that the only thing that's challenging with the Unreal is
that working?
Sometimes if you have to write script, you have to work with Visual Basic. Yeah, that's working. Is it a Vimeo?
Hallelujah. This didn't work, the Vimeo only, but I was able to get it and put it on this My TV thing that I have. They actually have a bit of storage that you can upload to.
Oh, nice.
And so I think that's why, because it's like in the website itself.
I did
Memories.
This one, Memories. It's like a music VR experience that I did for DK2. So that's why there's no hands, and you have that little circle in the middle because where you're looking at is, the selector. It was funny. It's fun to figure out ways to make people interact with the environment. But this one, you're basically supposed to just be an audience. A director, though, It's like you can relate. You're taking a shower, Everybody takes showers. There's always that bug that gets stuck in showering.
That's true. I don't like to kill bugs these days anymore, man. I just let the big bull ant go by. I'm like,
It's always that bug.
Yeah, but sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes you're like, oh man, it's too challenging. His wing is already stuck there. He's already lost a leg. I'm like,
oh, yeah, you got to make that call. Yeah. You just we're thinking too deep about this stuff, but I don't know. Something changed in my life where that's something that mattered more. So there, you're using perception neuron to capture animation,
so,
I believe.
My wife's mother, Olga, she's a ballet teacher, and when she came to visit us, we snapped it on her and let her do this amazing ballet dance. And afterwards, my wife kind of revised it. She re-recorded. There was a couple of errors with the actual recordings that we needed to re-record, but it's inspired by that. That's why I'm mentioning the Robert stance. I was going for the like, whoa, look, I mean, space.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic.
What did your mother-in-law think about the mocap technology? Was she pretty amazed that it was like at home level?
She was stoked, and we were talking even like making one day some kind of a ballet production in VR. I think it would be amazing, you know, like the music and dancers, get a whole bunch of different dancers. But this is like, you know, everybody's wish when they're working in an office is to get abducted. That's what I was going for. It's like your wish comes true. You know, I don't know. Do you have bikers? Where you live, do you have like bikers that drive on the road like really annoyingly, always trying to almost get hit by a car? Do you have that happening?
Oh, like, yeah, there's two kinds of bikers. Yeah, those that just want to go super fast and on a death wish.
I'm not talking motorcyclists. I'm talking, you know, bicyclers that like wear these weird bandage stuff.
Those are also trying to have a death wish. Yeah.
Yeah, so I figured it out, okay? They're working in an office, and that's why they don't mind when they go on the weekend on the road, taking chances with the car. They're like, you know,
sure,
maybe I'll get lucky. I won't have to go on Monday. Anyway, just...
Well, I think I was reading or watching something, and like somebody who has like a structured work style, you know, environment, when they go home, it's a lot of times then they'll have the opposite of that at home. It won't be this structured, everything neat necessarily. A lot of times the stuff will balance itself out that you'll be, you know, trying to do that. For me, I live and work at home. My balance is, I don't even know what's...
It takes discipline to work from home, eh? You know it. You know, it's like you have to decide, okay.
I still haven't become disciplined, unfortunately, but yeah, no. It's so hard.
So lots of hours right before it's due.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately.
This is like, I guess, I was going for the feeling, like, how do you feel if like a whole bunch of people like pray to you? You're just sitting there in the middle.
Okay.
Looks like he's dying over there. I think he is dying. That looks uncomfortable.
Oh, David? Yeah, that's normal.
Way to go, David.
I love this.
That's classic David.
Thanks. I modeled myself from scratch, like not with a scanner, right? Like, that's why it sucks.
I don't think it sucks at all, man. I want to see that in VRChat too.
Yeah, it looks good. I'll bring it. You got the robber and all the guys from the other experiences chilling there. She's just an audience member. Those guys.
That's what the Ninja Turtles do when they're off to.
Lazing in the undies.
So yeah, me and my wife, we took a whole bunch of like
mocaps
of audience, you know.
Did you plan all the motions out beforehand, or did you take one at a time and then look at it and add them in? Like, how did you coordinate all the different mocap at the same time?
We pre-recorded it before, so we were like, you know, a bunch of them just listening, and each position was a little different. So that's why those guys are chilling like that. But yeah, we pre-recorded them and then brought them all together into this space.
But it syncs basically to the track, is what, so we just listen to the track.
Oh, so that's what's
do the thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, exactly. Hearing the same track, it's not the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
actually
great.
my guitar I modeled. It's the one I have at home.
What kind of guitar is that? Martin?
A Raimundo. Now this one is a classical Raimundo. I have a Tyler acoustic though. Yeah, Musicman electric. This is my Raimundo.
So is there any way to still get this, or is it just was it just
You can watch it in the Vive or Oculus Rift, you know. Just you can download it from my website, nirblu.com. You can go and download it. It doesn't cost money, and it just won't have the hands. It just either with no hands.
I had a hard time getting it to work. Gunter, were you using a Rift or a Vive?
A Rift.
Yeah, same thing here.
Unreal. I've had trouble with other Unreal things too, so.
Oh, didn't know that.
Maybe we could do some more
back in
testing.
the day,
with those.
Yeah, CV. We both have CV1. So it was.
That's what
it was saying.
So I'm sorry if there's technical difficulties. I don't have that. I have the DK2, but I didn't plug it since I got my Vive. So
DK2, that's the one it was.
Yeah, maybe
I always
we'll have
assume
to
it's my
try with the
computer
Vive.
because there's always something going on with it. There's some hands in this one.
This is the latest one.
Magic
Kind of
hand.
like I'm hoping to finish it. Right now it doesn't have the sound because I'm devising the way that the sound's going to incorporate in this game. But it's a pretty simple shooter up game, basically. There's hordes of enemies coming, and at the end there's a boss coming. If you don't kill all of the enemies, you can't shoot the boss, and then he sends this weird cute one creature that like kind of walks at you, and then when he jumps at you, you go into this other world of boxing, and then you have to do like this round of boxing where like all these things appear around you, and it's more active, and if you win it, you got to come back and get an extra life or whatever. I'm very inspired by Super Mario. I got that Super Mario for Android. You know, the Mario Run?
Oh, I haven't played that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's like, you wait for anything, I'm not bored anymore. This is what I'm like, boom, Super Mario Run. It's like, just with the thumb. You don't need to do even two hands. It's just brilliant, yeah. So I was very fascinated by how they brought so much fun with just a thumb, you know? Like, how do you make this, you know? It's brilliant people there in Nintendo. So yeah, it's all about the cool bonuses.
That's a Vimeo video working though. See, it never makes sense.
I guess once Vimeo is in, it's Vimeo, and no YouTube works, and vice versa. Maybe.
I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. I guess I need to do some testing. I didn't realize there is something going on. I thought it was just at one point it just breaks and that's the end of it. But no, it's something more.
You know, you can fast forward it if you want till where the boss comes at the end. I mean, it's pretty redundant, and this is the easy, but it gets pretty hard. Another thing I would say about it that I was reading, like, after playing raw data, I was like, I hate when I shoot things and they don't die right away. Now, I want things to die as soon as you shoot them, you know? Like, one hit is enough. Like, it really upsets me when I already in VR aimed, shot, and hit, and it's not dead. That's like bullshit. In real life, something would happen, you know? Like, you don't shoot something in real life, and it's like, at least not.
Unless it's a boss, right?
Yeah, unless it's a boss, exactly. And even then, you see, I didn't want you to go on the boss and go choo 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 choo. Yeah, here you're basically jumping to this other world. It's a little laggy.
Did it? I think it froze up.
No,
here.
it's coming. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm still working on. Yeah, well, this is it pretty much. So that's the video. Still working on that. So it's a work in progress. This one is like the castle, I call it. It's like an excuse for you to listen to my music. Basically, you're gonna get trapped in this VR. Come to this, like, it's very inspired by The Seventh Guest. I don't know if you remember, except there's not too much riddles in this. It's just like walking in a house. And there's all these
I didn't play much of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Which one are you?
I can see the cover art in my mind.
It was like one of my first games with CD-ROM. It's like
CD-ROM doesn't matter. All that matters is that you picked the right one.
We didn't play that one. We had Phantasmagoria was the one that K-Dog and I played.
I didn't know that one.
already know which one it's going to be.
I can play you a tune with my avatar if you want.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
how many more tunes you got? Yeah, let's do it.
I got like 3 more, but I don't have to play them all. It's up to you. Stay here and listen to the music. And obviously, you know, when I release one of those experiences, you're going to get the tracks of the music by themselves as well, not just like the experience. And I want to have the experience changing how it sounds a little bit. So that's why I haven't released it. Still
You are a winner.
working on the delivery. Okay, I'm wondering if this song is too long. I'll make a shorter one. They
You
start
could
lagging if they're too long.
switch to if you need to, you know. And we're going to have you performing on us more in the future. Oh, yeah. You guys want to come up and take a look at this?
It's amazing. Grand piano.
So this isn't an animation.
It's got the finger tracking and everything.
That's not real time.
I think it's an animation.
It's an animation. That's pretty.
But he
fantastic.
recorded himself in the perception drone playing it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And so it's synced with the music track.
Do they still sell a perception neuron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
You see your foot moving too.
Wow.
All right.
That was awesome.
That is so cool.
So
really
beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Especially the ending. That was really beautiful.
All right.
More jazzy. I like it.
I had to go, I had to fly away. Deep inside, I didn't want to stay. But if you wanna know I'm on my way. I heard you're feeling down, that you're not okay. You know it makes me sad. I haven't seen you in years. It feels like nothing changed, just a few more fears. But I remember the love that I feel when I'm here. The sun and the breeze and the ocean makes me feel that I'm real. Takes me back the times that I've been away. Don't know if I even have something to show for today. You know it makes me sad when I think about your love that I missed. I feel like I let you down when I left so pissed. But I remember the love that I'll take to my grave. I'll never forget all the love that you gave.
Another heartbreak, man.
Awesome. That's great.
Love,
That's
man.
great.
Yeah, that's great.
You got it. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys. You felt it.
I do.
You know what I mean? It's like
Feel
that's
it.
what it's about.
Yeah. Piano's quite beautiful. I don't get to hear piano that much, so that's striking.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks
we gotta
so
make
much,
a
man.
longer event, man. And
Yeah, so that's all I'm thinking about. It's like
Just
I'm gonna edit things. I'm gonna get that one of these put in earlier because the whole media thing that kind of messed me up and got caught up in that a bit. But I'm gonna edit this up a bit, and then we're gonna put on a show, right? You're gonna put on a show. We'll do it either in the pug or in whatever world that you create, and film that whole thing, have people out, big party. Yeah.
it's amazing to be here, man. I think it's amazing what you're doing, and thanks for having me. By the way, it's really awesome. I'm like, this is the
Absolutely.
future, and I've been wanting to.
Yeah,
do
thanks
this
for coming
so
on.
long.
Yeah, we're here.
And thanks, guys. You're rocking it. So
So nirblu.com. Pretty much you get everything there, right?
yeah,
Get your
and,
albums, listen to some of the
email
tracks
me.
there. Yeah.
You can contact me through here or Slack or the website.
Yep.
That's
And for those watching the stream or watching the YouTube video afterwards, check this stuff out, man, and then get VRChat and come in and hang with us and see this stuff here. It's super cool. And so a couple more things. Bob, you do a podcast called the Left-Handed VR Podcast. Anything happening over there?
Well, I was up in New Hampshire this weekend, so we didn't record. Hopefully next week, and I might just record by myself if I can't get anyone else to record with me. So I'll put something out. And then for music, I'm working on a new track for my band Sunshield 3. And so you can check out some of our tracks at sc3.life.
nice.
Sweet. And me, I'm guntersuniverse.com, or just get in here to VRChat and we'll hang out. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, everybody that came out for the show. Thank you so much, Nir Blu, McSmithe. It's
Thanks
been
so much
great.
for having me.
Bob Kenny, Lousy, Mr. Pink, everybody around. That's so great. Let's hit some outro music. Boom. Damn. Like Yeah. Quite a contrast from the piano to this. The mood is totally in a different spot. Yeah.